So we just got through the entrance. Nice little map. I'm going to skip on a little brochure. I've been here a few times before, so I kind of know my way around. So, see the big house to the left. And this is the rest of the exhibit. Now, if memory serves, these are not actual slave houses that existed at the time. These are replicas of what would have been here back in the day. And we'll get a closer look at that in a little while. Some nice, beautiful trees here too. And down there's the restaurant and the gift shop. Of course, we're coming up to the rear of the house. It's good to get here early in the morning like this, because as I was saying in the truck, once as the day goes on, this place starts to get really, really packed. So there are other people here right now, but it feels kind of nice to almost have the place to yourself for a little bit. Now that's interesting. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. The columns on both ends of the house look kind of bent. Don't believe I've ever noticed that. And of course, the rear entrance of the house. I actually have a photo of the front entrance of the house like this. I've done photography here in the past. Throughout the video, I'll be inserting some of those photos in here so you can see some of the work I've done. Let's go to the front of the house so we can see that iconic view that everyone around the world sees when they see images of this place. And the alley of oaks. In front of the house. course, the Mississippi is right there on the other side of the levee. I think you can take a boat tour, a riverboat tour from New Orleans here. As far as driving from New Orleans, I think it's about an hour drive from the downtown area. Some of the trees did get damaged pretty bad from Hurricane Ida last year. That was a monster storm, one of the worst ever to hit this area. And you could clearly see it right here. That's a bummer. Luckily, none of the trees actually died. And they look like they're coming back pretty good. If you go to Oakalley's main webpage, you can see images of what the entire property looked like after the storm hit. And it looks pretty bad. I think the trees up front to our right are the ones that got damaged the most. And each time as you get further away from the front, you get that iconic image. It would have been a real shame if any of these trees had actually passed or destroyed, because if memory serves, these trees are about 500 years old. They give you all that information when you go inside the big house and do the tour inside, which we will be doing. Unfortunately, there will not be any photos or videos of the inside of the house. They do not allow that, and of course I'm going to respect their wishes. You know, look at the third tree on the right. It got damaged pretty bad. There's an image on their side from all the damage where looks like almost one of the trees is completely laying in the middle of this walkway. I'm going to assume it was this third one right here. Very glad to see that the storm did not kill these trees completely. Okay. And there it is. A lot of movies, and I think several TV shows might have been filmed here too, but movies for sure. The one that stands out to me the most was 1994 film Interview with the Vampire, with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise as the main stars. Yeah, if you've ever seen that movie, Oak Alley, this house serves as for the exterior shots of Louis' house in the movie. It's towards the beginning of the film where you actually see Louis riding on a horse up to the house, down the alley of oaks. That's, of course, before this pathway was there, or at least in terms of before it would have existed in the sense of the movie. It was just like a dirt road. He's riding his horse up to the house. And we're gonna go ahead and get to the big house. My tour starts in, well, they told me I have to be in line at 10 minutes to the start time of my tour, which is 9. Looks like I might be the only one on the tour, which would be great. If you're a tourist coming to Louisiana, this place is an absolute must. You have to have this on your bucket list. Just looking at this in photo and video, it really doesn't, it just, it doesn't do it justice. Okay, so I might not have the tour to myself, but it's going to be a small crowd. I wasn't too thrilled with the tour last time because they just kind of herded us in and out like cattle. It was about 30 people in the group, and the rooms in the house are big, but when you cram in that many people, you got some pretty small space. So that was annoying. So this might be the best way to do it. Come early in the morning. That way, you have the least amount of tourists. And you could probably ask more questions because, you know, less people there to ask questions. So if there's anything you want to know, the tour guides are very knowledgeable. And it seems like most of the time they actually enjoy what they're doing. So that's always a plus.
Hey everyone, so this part of the audio is me doing a voiceover. I just wanted to give a little insight into what's happening on the tour. So we reached the second floor. We're coming out obviously on the balcony and we're facing down the Alley of Oaks towards the Mississippi. So this is still the front of the house. And at this point, the tour guide is stopping us and giving us some history about the trees and basically answering any other questions that you have. When you get to this part of the tour, I tell you, I've seen them open those doors a few times to get this view, and it absolutely never gets old. It's just an incredible view. So, still looking down at the Alley of Oaks, and pretty soon we're going to be making our way to the left, and we're going to be going around to the back of the house and you'll be seeing that momentarily. This is all, of course, after we've toured everything downstairs and upstairs. Yep, so here we are going on to the left side of the house, and the tour guide's basically explaining what the gardens are that we're looking at down below. Some of them are plants that may have been here at the time of the original owners, and some of them are there for medicinal purposes, or at least they would have been back then. Some of them may have been because the owners simply like the way they look. There's also some vegetation there from at the time the stewards, which were the last owners of the house, would have had in the garden as well. And here we are approaching the back of the house, And still seeing the east garden right there. But yeah, here's the back of the house facing towards the back of the museum. And eventually he's going to bring us back through the back doors.
Alright, so we finished the tour of the big house, and we're in the east garden right now. If you want to pause the video so you can read this, go ahead. And the sun's coming out. There's a sugarcane theater over here. They provide you a little video about what the process and procedure would have been like at the time. In fact, as we come up on it, I can hear the video playing right now. I think he said it's like an 8-minute video. How's that for a view? It's amazing. Love to know what that old building in the back is and how long it's been here. What was it for? A couple of corrections I need to make concerning comments I made when we were in front of the house. I said the trees were about 500 years old. According to the tour guide, they're more like 250. And when we were walking towards the river, the fourth tree on the right, it was not storm damage, according to the tour guide. He said that tree was actually struck by lightning, and that's why it looks the way it does. And this is the sugarcane theater.
Louisiana sugarcane is grown by hundreds of family farms in 22 Louisiana parishes. But the impact of sugarcane
So it shows like
is
about a
felt
little
by
8-minute
all of the state's
video.
residents, as the industry contributes more than $250 million to the state's economy each month. That's $3 billion per year. Today, Louisiana sugarcane industry bears little resemblance to the process first developed 200 years ago in what is now downtown New Orleans. Louisiana sugarcane is grown from central Louisiana to the Gulf of Mexico, and from the Mississippi River to the western plains of Acadiana.
Oh, this here is the West Garden. And I have to say, I very much enjoyed enjoyed the tour of the inside of the house much better this time. Definitely the way to do it is what I did today. Early in the morning when there's not a lot of people here. You know, it felt a lot more personal, and you were able to ask a lot more questions. And you're not looking over people's heads that are taller than you to be able to see half of the stuff inside the house. So if you plan to come, I would definitely book the tour as early as possible.
Okay, so this is another voiceover. What we're looking at here is the grave of the Stewart family. Mrs. Josephine Stewart is the tomb to the far right up front. She was the last person to live in the house, and she passed away on October 3rd, 1972. She is the one who founded the Oak Alley Foundation. So it's really thanks to her that this property still exists today as a museum and that we are able to come and visit this place. So it's really all the credit is hers.
All right, so we're headed away from the big house and headed towards the back of the museum to see the rest of the exhibits. Probably going to take a little detour into the gift shop and catch some AC. It's starting to get warm. It's surprisingly not as warm as I was expecting. If you've never been to Louisiana or in the deep south, the best way I could describe our heat in the summer is if you've seen Star Wars, you know the planet Tatooine has twin suns. It's about like that, except we have the humidity to match the heat. If you're a history buff as much as I am, Oak Alley, Holmes House, the National World War II Museum in New Orleans, they have to be on your list if you ever come to Louisiana. They're just, you'll be blown away by all three of these places. They're just amazing. I was expecting more people to be roaming around by now, but it looks like we've been lucky so far. Some pretty awesome stuff in here. I actually have this magnet right here on my fridge at home.
Where any key can work for it. No, but like, it came with the key, and then you have to set it to the new key. So don't.
Had to get a little hydration and cool off a bit. Now back to the tour. Alright, inside the restaurant.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Alright, how we doing today?
I'm good. My name will be your server. Did you need a few minutes?
Yes, I do.
I'll come back in a few minutes, okay?
Can I get a Diet Coke?
A Diet Coke?
Yes,
sure.
ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She came here with
So inside the restaurant, they have a real chef here on site, so we're gonna have some pretty awesome stuff to choose from. Yeah, and if you're gonna come here, you gotta eat Cajun food. And I'm pretty sure that's majority of what the menu is gonna do. This is special for today. Dude. Fried green tomatoes topped with this shrimp type dressing. This looks amazing. Let's try it. Alright, so now I got a salad. Forgot that I get that with the meal. Alright, here's the main course, red beans and rice. They normally put the red beans in a plate over the rice, but since I ordered it without rice, they put it in a bowl for me. So we're going to give this a shot. Look at that. That's amazing. So we're inside the gift shop and the power went out. It looks like the rain pretty much stopped. Yeah, so it started storming when I was eating lunch. And it's like a little slight mist now, but luckily I was pretty much done with touring the whole museum. So I go into the gift shop to buy a poncho so I could come walk the levee and show you guys some footage of the river. And the power goes out in the gift shop. So luckily, the rain has slacked quite a bit, just hopefully long enough for me to walk across the levee here, maybe get in front of the house so you could get a shot of that. And hopefully it'll subside long enough for me to get back to the truck so I don't get soaked. Because I had to go pick up my camera because I don't want $3,500 worth of camera and lens to get ruined in the rain. But yeah, we're walking the levee here on the Mississippi, and Oakalley is to the right of us. This is the property that we're looking at down from the levee. I do see a boat over there, but again, the tour guide told me that they don't come here. And what's funny is also, while I was eating lunch, I was messing around on Facebook, and Homeless House posted pictures of one of the boats arriving there. So you can definitely take a boat ride to Homeless House. So you've seen various photos that I've taken of Oakalley throughout this video. The final image, and it'll be the last thing you see in the video, is an image I took several years ago. And pretty much did the same thing then that I did now. Got here early in the morning, ran out into the front of the house and took the image. That way I wouldn't have any tourists in the shot. It's an image that's very special to me because I had entered that image in a photo contest, and the grand prize was an all-expense trip paid to New Zealand. I didn't win, unfortunately, but I was a finalist in that contest, and I'm very proud of that image. And I actually have a canvas of it, an 8x16, on the wall in my living room. And that's actually the image that is the thumbnail for this video. See a car parked on the side of the road. You can actually see the signs right by where that car's parked and coming up. No stopping on the road. There is another bridge close by that crosses the Mississippi that I wanted to head to and get some footage of for another video when I left here, but doesn't look like that's going to happen because I was planning to take the drone up over there as well. And the drone, of course, is not waterproof, so that's not going to happen. And, of course, we couldn't take a drone up over here either. And here we are. That's how it looks from way up on top of the levee. Alright, and there you have it. It started off as a nice sunny day. Now it's a rainy day here in Louisiana, South Louisiana. Time to head back to the truck and get on home. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.